Did everybody lose audio?
No, we're still here. They're going to start in just a moment.
This one?
How are you? Good, good.
Microphone? This one here? Okay. Only the juvenile delinquents can sit in the back. All right. So welcome everybody. Danny, give me a thumbs up. You can hear me all right on the Zoom? Wonderful, thank you. Host has spotlighted me for Video for Everyone. Welcome to the commercial marketplace, July 7th. My name is Michael Hinton. I am the Miami Realtors Commercial Board President this year, and it's a great honor to work with all of you. I see some board members here in the room. Josh is here, Denise is here, and and Jose is here. Thank you very much for your service on the board. And I'm sure there's several of you in the room that are current and past board members, and we greatly appreciate it. We've got a wonderful speaker today, Danielle Blake. We're going to bring her up on the virtual stage here in just a minute. She's going to talk about advocacy and some of the things that have come out of Tallahassee. We know there's a lot of issues, insurance, building inspections, roofing is a hot topic, and so she's going to give us an update on the things that she sees coming out of Tallahassee and all of these issues and laws that have taken effect as of July 1st. So she is a great resource, and she's part of our advocacy group here at Miami Realtors. So we appreciate hearing all those details from her. In the meantime, I have a couple of announcements. I will pull this up. Let's see. We are proud to announce that Tom Dixon, who has done an amazing job with us and the Tom Dixon courses, we've gotten back in touch with him, and we will be scheduling that, I believe, in September. So those classes are returning for those of you that want continue your commercial education here at Miami Realtors. Tom Dixon will be returning. We have a CI for those of you that are interested in CCIM. We have a 103 course that Miami Realtors will be hosting in October in the Coral Gables office. And if you know anyone that is in the FIU or UM Master's program, the 103 class is the one that you need to take to finish your pursuit of the PIN on the education, and you put your portfolio together. So we are also talking with the Realtor Land Institute. That is another institute that's part of NAR and the National Association of Realtors and other realtors. They focus on land and development. So the Realtor Land Institute is partnering with us, and we have a Land 101 class. So this is a 2-day in-depth class to learn about converting agricultural and transitional land into development, whether it's in the urban core or out in the far suburbs or even just past the suburbs, those areas out in the county that are ready for redevelopment. The Realtor Land Institute, that 101 class will be scheduled in October. We were working also on a commercial marketplace with FIAPSI, which is a federation of international commercial agents. That will be a commercial marketplace September 1st. So that will be virtual, and we have people from all over the United States and the globe who will be participating in a global commercial marketplace. We are working on finding an attorney who will talk about the newly revised EB-5 and EB-7 visa program. So for those of you who are not familiar with it, investors can bring a set amount of money. It used to be $500,000. Now I believe it's $750,000 or $850,000. Bring it into this country, you invest it, you create 20 jobs, and after 2 years, you're on track to get your green card, and then you become a eventually a citizen through this whole program. It takes several years, and I don't know enough about it. That's why we have an attorney coming in who's going to be talking to us about that, which fits in perfectly with foreign investors. And it's not like we don't have enough foreign investors in Miami, but we can always use some more. We love it when they bring their capital into this area and they invest it in real estate. Yes, Danny, thank you. The CCIM lunch is next Friday, not tomorrow, the following Friday. It will be at Morton's in Coral Gables. Danielle Blake and Ana Maria Rodriguez, the senator, will be both speaking in similar to what Danielle's talking about today, but more in depth for about a half hour, talking about all the things that are coming out of Tallahassee. So look for that announcement. I believe the webpage will be up this weekend. Maybe it'll be up this afternoon. So that will be at Morton's next Friday. Boy, picking off the top of my head here. What else is coming up? We're working on some networking events, one in Little Haiti, which we don't have quite put together yet. We've got some other education classes that are in the pipeline. And I think that's everything that I can recall. Let me see here. Can we repeat one? When is the 103? That will be in October. I believe it is the third week of October. It'll be a Tuesday through Friday for the CCM 103 for you, Lenny's. Yeah, the week of October 24th, Paul said that in the chat. That Monday of that week, we will also have a CCIM negotiations class that Miami is also sponsoring. Miami Realtors is sponsoring that. So if you want to take just the one-day negotiations class from CCIM, that will also be available on Monday. And then Tuesday through Friday will be the CI 103 class. So those are some really great commercial education opportunities that were coming. And yes, Paul has put in the chat the Broward commercial. We're working on something at Canyon. We don't have the details yet on that. Little Haiti is also in the planning stages. And we're also putting together the commercial conference that'll come out, and we'll announce that date. It's the second or third Friday in October. So that will be our big event in October, and we're working with Letty. October 7th. Thank you, Paul. We're working with Letty on a location. It will probably go back to the Biltmore. We're not sure yet. We're working with Biltmore on that location. So I think that's everything, Paul, in the chat. Is there anything else I'm missing that we should talk about? Otherwise, I'm going to turn it over to Danielle. And then after Danielle, we'll turn it over to Josh and we'll do our needs and wants. So let me introduce Danielle Blake. As I said before, she is our Chief of Advocacy and Public Policy. So if you ever get a chance to see her work the halls of Tallahassee, it is a lesson in master negotiation. She's an amazing networker. She knows who and where to go and what to say and how to do it. She has been representing Miami and property owners and all of our clients for several years in not only Tallahassee, but also here in Miami-Dade and at the city. So she is our expert in public policy and what's going on. So I will get off the stage and turn it over to you, Danielle. Take it over. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. President. So the concept is I'm here presenting on Zoom and the senator is on her way. She just informed me there were 3 accidents on the turnpike this morning. So when she gets there, I want you guys to do a loud applause and tell her thank you for coming into the office. So she'll be there with you in person. She can talk about the legislation that they passed in Tallahassee. And then I'm here, of course, on Zoom presenting it to you. I do have some slides I'm going to present.
Sorry, Danielle, 1 second. Can you turn Danielle up just a little bit? She's soft here in the live room. Go ahead.
Keep speaking. All right, I'm going to go ahead and share my PowerPoint presentation. I just need to make sure that sharing has been enabled, and it has. All right, give me 1 second. All right, so everyone can see it there in the audience? Perfect. Okay, so before I get started, there is a team that works on this information. So myself has already been introduced, Danielle Blake, Chief of Public Policy. We have Evian White de Leon, who's our Chief Legal Counsel. And then of course, Senator Ana Maria Rodriguez, who's on her way to spend time with you. But we all work on this together as a team and help educate each other from the legal perspective, from the lobbying perspective. So we have a lot of good information for you today. So the hot, not so sexy topic I've been asked to speak about today is property insurance. As you know, we just had a special session in Tallahassee, May 23rd to the 27th. This was the third attempt at addressing property insurance from the legislature in the last 3 years, since 2019. So I'll go through some of the changes right now. In the first attempt, as you probably know and you've heard, there are these roofers that go out and they're trying to get you to assign their benefits over to them. They use an attorney, they file these lawsuits, and they file a big wave of lawsuits. So the insurance companies don't really have time to react. That was the original plan, I guess, business plan. And it was causing a lot of, financial issues for our companies. So the first thing that the legislature did is they say, you cannot advertise. What happened is that these contractors got together, they sued, and they actually won, stating that they have a First Amendment right to advertise. So now on this third round, they came back and said, okay, you can advertise, however, you must include this language. So on those forms for your advertisement, you have to say that the customer is responsible for the payment of the insurance deductibles. This is why the roofers were saying, oh, we're going to get you so much that you don't have to pay for that deductible. So the legislature wants to make sure that people are aware you still are responsible for that deductible. And then it goes on to say that insurance fraud, which is a lot of what was happening in this case, it is a felony here, I believe it. A third-degree felony for you to willingly and knowingly defraud in this scenario. So you're falsifying those claims in order to draw more money down. That has to be on the statements now. So again, if you can't prohibit them for advertising, you can require them to use a specific language. So that's the first thing they did in the two bills that just passed in May. The big one, and this does apply to commercial as well, is assignment of benefits. So in a lawsuit arising for residential or commercial property insurance, the right to attorney fees cannot be reassigned to anyone other than who's on the policy or an omnibus insured or a named beneficiary. So this is the primary reason that the legislature has cited for the increased cost. And I know they've thrown some numbers around. We've heard in Tallahassee that we're 92% of the claims nationwide and only 8% of the policies. So just putting that information out there. This is the biggest thing that they are trying to curb the cost on and help keep companies in Florida, because right now they're filing bankruptcy, they're pulling out. So we're trying to retain those companies in Florida. They also created a reinsurance program. So we have Citizens, a state-run program. Now they created a $2 billion reinsurance program to help keep companies. So they get the first loss and then you make the claim on the reinsurance. That is a new state-run reinsurance program. Another incentive to keep businesses here, underwriting policies in Florida. Well, okay, the other thing that they did in round two, they came and said, as I mentioned to you, kind of the game plan for the attorneys were to file 72 cases and not give the insurance companies enough time to respond. So part of what they did in the second attempt to address this is they have to provide a 10-day notification. As the attorney, before you file a lawsuit, you have to give the insurance company a 10-day notice of intent to file that lawsuit so they can attempt to negotiate with you. Now they have come back on this third round, and you'll see the last paragraph there, and says, okay, if they determine that it's frivolous in this, if you did not provide the proper notice before you could throw out the case, that still happens. Now the courts can throw out the case and award attorney fees to the insurance company. So this is another deterrent measure on trying to curb all that litigation, which in the end will save us and keep companies in Florida. So I'm going to transition over to residential for a moment and explain some of the things that they did. I think most of you are familiar with the hurricane deductible. They now have roof deductibles that they have written that they can write in the policy. It is not mandatory. It is an option. It is another tool to provide those insurance companies to keep them in Florida. So you can have a 2% roof deductible under certain circumstances. And I say that because there was lots and lots of language on how this is going to happen. And I read through the whole bill. And then at the very end, there's this one sentence, which you'll see here. It says, does not apply to roof loss due to hurricanes, tree falls, total loss, or repairs less than 50%. That's like, so what this is trying to do is say that if you bring in if you file a claim and you're trying to get the whole roof covered as opposed to a portion of it, then that's when the 2% deductible would kick in. Otherwise, it would still be covered under your peril insurance that you currently have. That's the big change that happens here. So they believe this will be a tool that insurance companies will use in order to stay in Florida. At least that is their hope. So that is one of the things that they just passed here. And next, this is a big one that we read about in the paper a lot. The insurance companies were dropping policyholders if they had roofs that were less than 10 years old. We had a lot of stories about that. So now the law has changed and it says you may not refuse to insure or renew the roof if it's less than 15 years old, or if you have an inspection indicating that the roof has at least 5 years or more of useful life remaining. So now there was a question about what if you do 25% of the roof improvement, but 75%, under that provision that I just told you about, that so you fix part of it instead of replacing the whole thing. Now, what's the real age of the roof? So we are expecting more clarification on this particular provision in the state law to come out soon on that, but I wanted you to be aware of it because that has been such a hot topic in the news here. And finally, the last thing I have for you is that they put out mitigation grant funds. I don't know if you guys remember my Safe Florida program, I think about 10 years ago, where they put mitigation funds into hardening the homes. They did terminate that program. They have now brought it back, and some of the improvements that they raised the cap from $300,000 on residential homes to $500,000, and then also the match money. So it used to be dollar for dollar match. Now a homeowner puts in $1 and the state will kick in $2 for a cap of up to $10,000 to help harden your home. We're expecting guidance on that to come out October 1st. As you can see, the breakdown of the funds, 150 million was allocated, and 115 of that will be for these mitigation grants. 1 million of that is for public outreach through hopefully our members. So we're looking to partner with them on that as well. The next bill that got a lot of attention was condo reform. You are definitely familiar with the 40-year recertification. You probably know that this only applies to Miami-Dade and Broward counties. No other county in Florida has this provision. So what the legislature did is they came in and they passed this milestone inspection provision. It does apply to all 67 counties. And what this says is that this is only for residential condos and co-op associations, buildings that are 3 stories and higher. Then you have to do the 30-year recertification and renew it every 10 years. And then of course, for any condos that are within a 3 miles of the coastline, it's a 25-year inspection plus every 10 years afterwards. So the way the inspections are going to work for the milestone, if you think of it this way, milestone inspections are the state-run inspection program, if that makes sense. So phase 1 is a visual inspection. An architect or engineer will come and do a visual inspection of the property. If they don't see any visual signs, then you pass. If they do see visual signs of damage in any way, then you move to phase 2, which is a detailed inspection. And because the whole state is required to do this for all the condo and co-op buildings that are 3 stories and higher, we do expect hopefully a lot more people to be going in this, because those inspectors are really going to be swamped for this. The other big thing that they did, we got a lot of complaints, obviously after Surfside, about, I'm concerned because I'm a resident of a condo and I want to know if my building is safe to live in. The board ordered an engineering report. I've asked for a copy of it and I was told no, that is proprietary information. So that is one of the things that they changed in this new law that passed. It says you must provide copies of these detailed inspections to the unit owners there, because everyone has an ownership right and they should be entitled to that information. So that passed in the new law. Also, which has been a really hot topic, is mandatory reserves. And so I guess the settlement that they came to with the mandatory reserves is that it's for structural integrity. So if you now have to conduct these, I drew a blank on the name of them. Help me out. Okay, I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's when you have to do a reserve study. Thank you. You have to do a reserve study every 5 years. And then from the reserve study, you're going to determine the elements that are for structural integrity, like the roof or waterproofing the building through paint. Those are examples of structural integrity items that must be fully funded now. So you don't have to fully fund on other landscaping, for example, but for these structural integrity improvements, this must be fully funded. You also have, well, I just mentioned the mandatory reserves for structural components. So Miami-Dade County did pass an ordinance after this to bring our 40-year recertification in line with the 30-year milestone. So if you fall under the state definition for those condo associations and co-ops, you have to do the 30-year. Obviously, the state passed it statewide. That applies to Miami-Dade County too. They left the 40-year recertification in buildings that apply to all buildings under the code for those that are built in 1982 and afterward, which is 40 years from today. So if the building was before that, it still falls under the 40-year provision, which is renewable for every 10 years. And then it sounds like all other buildings have to move to this 30-year recertification. But I don't want to confirm that to you until we get the new ordinance in writing, because there were a lot of amendments that were passed that day verbally. I checked last night. They are still incorporating those amendments. So as soon as we get a final report, we'll be providing that information to you. And that is your advocacy update for now. Do you have any questions I could answer?
I was a little unclear on the deductible windstorm versus just a roof claim. You said it was 2% for the roof?
So this is a new concept. Sorry if I'm echoing. This is a new concept that you would have a 2%. And if you can give me a minute, Ron, what I'm going to do is Anna Maria sent me a slide as I was speaking in my WhatsApp chat. Let me see if I can share it here, because it does a breakdown on the 2% that makes it a little bit more easy to understand. So if you'll give me a minute, I'll pull that out.
Okay, Danielle, we had a question about commercial properties. Commercial properties used to be 40-year. Are they still 40-year, or are they now under the 30-year milestone for commercial properties in Miami-Dade County?
From a state law perspective, commercial properties are not covered under the milestone inspections. It only applied to condominiums and co-op buildings. From a Miami-Dade County perspective, that's the part I need to clarify for you, because the way that they wrote it in the code was a little confusing. You need to have the code in front of you in order to incorporate their verbal amendments. And I'll put it this way, they passed it a month ago and staff still has not incorporated those amendments yet. So I don't want to give you an answer today, but as soon as I have the final version, I will make sure to share it with Paul and with everyone. And of course, we'll put it in a context that's easy to understand. The way that I initially read it, if that commercial building was constructed before 1982, it still falls under the old code of the 40-year inspection. But it seemed like then they went into all these dates from 1982 to 1993. So that's the part I don't understand what's different, and I want to take a look and explain it to you better.
Danny, go ahead.
Do you know when the insurance on commercial properties, the new prices are going to kick in, the 2%?
No, I don't. And again, it's not mandatory that you do this 2%. It's being offered to companies to keep them in Florida to do underwriting. They can elect to use this policy. The other thing, Danny, is I want to see, because I didn't see any reference to commercial or residential, I want to make sure this isn't only for residential properties.
I'm talking about the taxes on insurance on commercial properties.
Oh, business rent tax?
Yeah, but when is that going to kick in?
So initially we had a date of 4 years from the time that it passed. And I did send a text yesterday to Andy Gonzalez, who took Danielle Scoggins' place. As you know, Danielle used to track the stuff for us, and Andy hasn't responded yet. But I was asking him to get an update from DOR and where we are, because they told us 4 years initially, but then they told us that providing, so you guys know how it works with the business rent tax. They passed it, they're going to lower it from 5.5 to 2%, but only after they replenish the Florida Unemployment Compensation Trust Fund back to the level that it was pre-pandemic. They estimated that would take 4 years, and then we heard it's going to be less time, but we haven't gotten an update lately. That's what I was asking Andy for yesterday, and I haven't got an answer back. But when I do, Danny, I'll let you know.
Thank you.
Hi, Danielle.
Hi,
So
let
the
me
40-year
give.
inspection.
Can I get
40-year
back to Ron's question real quick?
Go ahead and show that slide, Danielle, and then we'll go back to questions.
Okay, so what deductible will apply to my roof claim? So was the damage caused by a hurricane? Yes. Then it goes to your hurricane deductible. That one applies. The second one is, do you have a policy with the roof deductible? That's that new provision that just came out of the law. So if it's no, you're still going to go to all your peril deduct. It applies with basically the way it is today. If yes, if your insurer elects to give you that roof deductible, then you move on to the next question. Did the damage result in a total loss to the primary structure, or did a tree or other hazard puncture the roof deck? If that answer is yes, it goes to peril. If the answer is no, then you go to the next one, which is how much of that roof needs to be repaired. If it's less than 50%, you're going to go to your standard policy. If it's more than 50%, that's when the 2% kicks in. I know it's confusing. It was a lot of reading in the bill to figure that out. So I'm really glad that Anna Maria just sent me this slide that explains it better.
Okay, so who else had the next question? If you could tell us who you are and ask your question.
Hi, Danielle. My name is Shirani Kikudas. I'm in Broward. So can you tell me about the 40-year inspection in a commercial building? So it has to be built in 1982.
So what I was referencing was Miami-Dade County Code. Broward County has their own code for a 40-year inspection as well. I have not seen legislation yet in Broward County for them to update it to the new state standards, but I can research that for you and let you know. And if they do come out with something, of course, I'll let Paul know as well.
So far we will not be able to find that information, or you don't have it?
I don't have that information, but even in Miami-Dade, they were ready to go as soon as the state law passed. They took it up at the local level and they made changes to it, but they haven't published their changes yet.
So is this 40-year inspection for, you said residential, not for commercial?
So it's both. And it applies, it doesn't apply to single family structures. It doesn't apply to duplexes, but it does apply to commercial buildings. And remember, this existed prior to Surfside. So the 40-year reinspection provision is still on the books. I know that we have a lot of people here who've dealt with that. If some of you want to share your stories about how the process works.
And Danielle, correct me if I'm wrong, but for a commercial building, it has to be of a certain size. It's like 1,000 or 2,000 doesn't qualify. It's got to be big enough, right? What's that size?
Correct.
1,500?
I can look that up for you.
Yeah. So anybody else in Zoom land that's got a question for Danielle? Otherwise, we'll go around the room here if anybody's got something in the room. This is your chance to ask an expert. Michelle, Denise, anybody here in the room? Questions? Come on up here, Josh. Use the microphone. Come on up.
Hi, good morning. Would you please remind us or share the information regarding condo units having to share certain documentation with us? Could you send that in the email or the link, or reference what page we can find that on so we can reference that ourselves?
Yes. Is it the inspection report specifically, or are you looking for all the items that they must share?
Well, I would love for my condo to share everything, but I'll start with the inspection
They
report.
do have a specific list of what must be shared. And I'll give you an example of one of the things that's exempted. If you request a list of the unit owner information, you can get, I would say, the names of the unit owners, but they don't have like the contact information, the cell phone number and email address. They did exempt that under the state law. I tell you that for a reason. Remember, we just passed the condo HOA transparency ordinance in Miami-Dade County. So starting on February 1st, you are supposed to get that information from the new master database that Miami-Dade County is building. So yes, Josh, I can get it and send it to you.
Perfect. That sounds great. I can't wait to share that with my community association management company.
Okay, so any other questions? Otherwise, we're until Anna Maria gets here, we're gonna start on the needs and wants.
And
So
Mr.
here's what-
President, if it's
Yes.
okay with you, I'm going to keep researching. And when I get the answer from Miami-Dade and Broward about the commercial buildings and the square footage exemption, I'll share that with you as well.
That would be awesome. So we're gonna start with those of you in the room, and so that you can be on camera, you'll come up here. So if one person could come up here and then the next person could stand here, we'll shuffle you through quickly. That way we don't have a lot of downtime. So I'm gonna keep this microphone and you get to use this microphone. I'm gonna call on Michelle first, and Denise, you can come right up next. How's that? And then we'll go this side of the room here. So stand. Yeah, so we'll get them to open the chat. Stand right up right here. That's you. Go ahead and start. And Denise, come on up, be the second one.
Good morning, everyone. Michelle Hernandez. I'm with Related ISG on the commercial division. I have the needs, right?
Yep.
Right now, I'm looking for some multifamily deals to analyze. I have a couple investors ready to move some cash capital. Have anything worth reviewing, please send it over. And
Hand it over to Denise.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Denise Chambers Palmer. I'm with the Kais Company. I am also looking for multifamily anywhere between off market, anywhere between $5 million all the way up to $25 million. I'm also looking for a school in Broward County, 20,000 square feet, and that's going to be for about $5 million. And I'm also looking for quite a few assisted living facility. 6 bed, 10 bed, 15 beds, 30 beds. And right now I have on the market an assisted living facility. It's a 6 bed. It's located in Coral Springs. And the business opportunities for $75,000. And I also have
Give me one
2
more.
12 beds off market for a little bit over $1 million. My number is 786-337-5365. And if you don't remember, you can always Google my name, Denise Chambers, and you'll see my information comes up. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is George Cantero. I am with Berkshire Hathaway, EWM Realty in downtown Miami. Mauricio Gaviria and us, we're working on a hotel deal here in Miami. Our original investor got cold feet because Mauricio's property requires some development. So he got cold feet, but still we're looking for either a hospitality hotel where the keys are about between 150 and 175 per door. And we're looking for something that be more than 150 keys for that particular hotel. My telephone number is 305-793-5197. Thank you.
Great, thank you. And go ahead. We're going to interrupt for a commercial break from our senator who just arrived. So thank you so much for coming on up here. Come on up and take the stage here.
Thank you,
Talk.
Michael. Good morning, everyone. My name is Ana Maria Rodriguez. For those of you who don't know me, I am your Senior Vice President of Government Affairs. I work with Danielle Blake, who just spoke a few minutes ago. And I know that she talked about some of the insurance legislation that just passed during the special session that we just had last month. But wanted to just touch on a couple of other things that are happening in our state, which I think are of importance to you as our commercial leaders. So as you all know, I actually, or may not know, I am the chair of the Finance and Tax Committee, and we passed a $2 billion tax package this year for Floridians. So what does this mean to you? Any of your properties that are, if you're looking to add any impact windows, any garage doors or doors that are impact resistant, any of those items that are looking to be added to your properties are tax-free for the next 2 years. So if any of your clients or any properties that you have are fall in that category, take advantage of this tax holiday for the next 2 years. Ending this week, we have the Freedom Week sales tax holiday, started July 1st and ends today. And this is for all kinds of camping gear and all kinds of other items that have people go outdoors and take advantage of concerts, pool supplies, camping, fishing gear. You're probably, wondering, how does this apply to me? But hey, we all go outside, we all take advantage of the outdoors. Why not share that information with you? Also, something, again, not related to real estate, but if you have children, we do not pay diapers or for taxes on diapers or infant clothing now for forever. Like, we eliminated taxes. I know Danielle told me if we could go retroactive for the last 20 years, because she had several children and I have a couple. But anyway, I just wanted to share some of that information with you because some of you may not be aware of that. So yeah, that's it. Just
5
little
kids,
tax-
20
tax
years.
relief.
20
kids,
years
yes.
of paying taxes on diapers. And now you
Yes,
do
and
this.
There you go. And between my husband and I, we have 4 kids. So here we go.
Oh, great. So does anybody have any questions? I want to say, you were also part of the author of some of these insurance reform bills, correct? So you were involved
Yes.
in some of that, if you want to make any comments on that. And she's also on the
Yes.
Transportation Committee, which is obviously super important in South Florida, our highways, our ports, how we do goods.
Mhm.
So if there's anything from the Transportation Committee you want to throw out, just give me a chance here. So go ahead.
So I wasn't really a co-sponsor of the insurance legislation, but I did propose several condominium reform bills. After the Surfside tragedy last year, we felt, particularly here in South Florida, that we wanted to make some significant, meaningful changes in the condominium arena. And so what we did was 3 of the bills that I proposed were creating a condominium database, which we didn't pass at the state level, but we did pass it at the local level. Former Senator Rene Garcia created a database of all condominiums, which it's still being created. It hasn't actually been created yet, but this will create more transparency. And for those of you who also dabble in residential real estate, it's good to have access to information such as inspection reports, the finances of that condominium, other information that your buyers or yourselves, if looking to purchase property in this type of property. Now, what else did I file? I filed a bill that would require condominiums to have mandatory education for condo board members. So if you serve on a board, you would be required in the state of Florida to have a curriculum to know what is involved in being a condo board member, whether it's knowing how reserves work, knowing how budgets work, knowing how elections work. All of this may seem elementary to some of you, but a lot of people serve on boards and they have no idea what they're getting themselves into. Unfortunately, this bill did not pass, but I'm going to try to pass it again next year. And then lastly, I also filed a condo fraud task force bill, which also didn't pass, but we're going to try again next year. So, the state did pass some significant reforms with regards to condominiums in terms of inspections. So many of you know, here in Miami-Dade County, we had the mandatory, the 40-year inspection. So that was changed to 25 years for the first inspection. And statewide, any property that's within 3 miles of the coastline will be required to have not a property, but a condominium that's 3 or more stories will have their first inspection at the 25-year and then 10 years every 10 years thereafter. Danielle, I don't know did you cover that or?
I did.
You did. Okay, never mind then. All right, good. We're good. Thank you.
Anybody have any questions? Richard?
Any structure. And that's why I mentioned it in this group, because it doesn't have to be a residential. It's the purchase of those impact windows, impact garage doors, or regular, impact doors. Mhm. It's built into the purchase at the point of sale, when you buy your impact items at the location, you will not be charged taxes for it. Correct. Correct. It is only on the purchase of those items to harden your property. Mhm.
Yeah, so if you're purchasing $20,000 impact windows, you're not being taxed on the $20,000 of those actual windows. Installation and all those other things are still in play, but
Yes.
the actual sales, which is what, 7.25 in Miami-Dade County?
Yes.
7.25?
You're saving 7.5%.
7.5.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes. Correct. Correct.
Anybody else have any questions, comments, thoughts? We have the experts here between Anna Maria and Danielle. And I know
Wow.
Danielle's
Oh,
got
Danielle's
a couple of
gonna
things.
add something?
She's gonna do something in the chat. We want to read, she's got here, oops.
Oh, I'll just read it.
go
It's,
ahead.
it's probably easier. So for Miami-Dade County, the 40-year recertification exemption, which will probably be 30, the exemption part applies to single-family homes and buildings with less than 10 occupants and less than 2,000 square feet. They're exempted from the requirement. In Broward County, it's all buildings for 3,500 square feet are exempted under theirs. And those exemptions will stay in place. And then Danny Zonker asked a question about where we are with Department of Revenue reimbursing the Florida Unemployment Trust Fund at the level it was pre-pandemic so that we can reduce the business rent tax from 5.5 to 2%. Danny, Anna Maria, I sent a text message to Andy asking for an update because Danielle Scoggins used to provide that to us. He hasn't answered back, but then I just remembered, aren't you like chair of F&T or something?
Yes,
That's kind of a
Danielle.
big deal. You could probably get that answer for us.
I will work on getting that answer for Danny, for all of us actually, because I haven't checked it recently.
Perfect.
All right, so
She
shameless
chairs
plug
the
for
committee.
next Friday for CCIM. You'll have the answer for us next lunch.
Yes,
How's that?
yes,
How's that
that's a
for
good
shameless
teaser.
plug?
That's a good,
Teaser.
yes.
There you go.
Danielle Blake and I will be your speakers at the next CCIM lunch next Friday at Morton Steakhouse in Coral Gables. So don't come just for the steak to see us. because
All
We're,
right.
we're better than steak.
There you
How
go.
about that?
All right. So thank you very, very much. It's awesome to have these wonderful experts here. You'll be around the office this morning. So if you've got questions, her office is right behind the receptionist. So you could go and knock on her door. And if you've got some other questions while you're here. Have any wants and needs? No. You can do a shameless plug. This is your opportunity to. All right, yeah. And you are running unopposed for this season. And for those of you who are not familiar, her district is the Keys, parts of Homestead, and a little bit of Kendall. Is that right? Or all the way to FIU. So along the turnpike to the edge of the county, from FIU south through parts of Kendall, the Redlands, Homestead, and the Keys is her district. So she is your hometown senator for that part of the county. But she also works for everybody else here. So thank you so much for being here. So appreciate it. All right. Josh, you want, huh? Okay, so we left off, Jose, you want to come on up here and then we'll do the next one, guys. We'll just work our way across the room here. So come on up here.
Good morning, I'm Jose Garcia from KW Commercial in Coral Gables. In this moment, I come to see what you have because I don't have any things right now. My phone number is 786-399-3349. Thank you.
Okay, did they not? What happened to our camera, David? Oh, it followed Anna Maria. Okay, so come back over here and it'll come on over back here. It'll come. He'll get it over here. Go ahead.
Okay, long
Yep.
camera.
Yep, you'll be there in a second here.
Am I good?
Go ahead and talk. We'll get it here.
Like, where's Waldo?
David will get you on camera. Go ahead, though.
Okay, so Mike Rasco, first time in a long time. I'm now with Cornerstone Capital of New York, and we are a commercial mortgage brokerage. Still wandering around here for the camera. We do all kinds of commercial properties, hospitality, land, construction, non-recourse, foreign national, CMBS, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, multifamily. So give me a call, 786-797-4323. We're here in Miami on Brickell. Again, 786. Still wandering around.
There you go.
Hey, you got my pretty
Come on
face?
here.
All right. How about that? Here with my old buddy Josh. Mike Rasco, 786-797-4323. Commercial deals. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day.
Here. Yeah, I'm new, Lourdes Valdemaro with Next House Commercial Real Estate. We're actually looking, you can't hear right now? Better? Okay. We're actually looking on, actually I have a client looking to sell her pharmacy business and that's with the real estate as well, looking to a commercial strip. But we're new, we're learning, so we're here and I'll provide more information. I'll get your information and provide more details. That's enough to come if you're interested.
Hello, good morning. There is a lot of people there. Good morning. My name is Hilda Serpa. I am with Next House too, in the commercial division. I am also part of the business broker of Florida. Right now I have 4 hotels of the market. 2 are in Orlando, 2 here in Miami. The ones in Orlando are 25 millions and here in Miami, 30 millions. On the market, I have a shopping mall in Midtown. It's 11 million. It's very well located. And I have, no, here, better. And I also have just listed business opportunity. It's a luxury manufacturing here in Doral. It's 1.6 million. So bring your clients. I'm excited to work with you. Thank you.
Go ahead.
All right, so now that we have completed a few persons in the room, we're going to go to Zoom land and we're going to start with Gisela. Let's unmute for Gisela.
Gisela, if you'd like to unmute, go ahead and talk.
Go ahead,
Yes.
Gisela.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Can you share your needs, your wants with us this morning? So maybe we can.
Well, of course, this is my first time on this kind of real estate needs. I've been more into the residential. Mr. Paul Cauchy invited me to this meeting.
Okay.
So really at this point, I don't have any specific needs. Really, we have a client that he's looking for some flex office space in Broward. And we're going to be contacting with members to members emails. So we want to start, I'm starting right now. Thank you so much for asking me. I would like to have more experience, but I'm going to be getting, little by little.
Well, I'm glad that you're here today and it just takes baby steps. You just have to take one step at a time. So thank you for coming and we hope to have
Thank
you
you.
on our next one.
Thank
And
you.
next
Thank
we're
you so
going to
much,
have
Akash.
Danielle.
Let me make just one quick comment. Please, everybody, put your haves and needs, like Gisela, put it in the chat because I'll send the chat to everybody afterwards and they can search for your chat. So please put it in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Cauchy. Thank you.
Now we're going to have Danny goes next. Unmute your mic, Danny, and share your needs and wants. And after that, we're going to have Peter. Prepare your next after Danny. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Like everybody else, I'm looking for warehouses. Particularly, I'm looking for something from 15,000 to 30,000, 24-foot clear anywhere in Miami. Desperate because I sold a building and I can't get the guy out unless I buy him another building. So please, if you have anything, we're looking to buy. I also have a 59,000 square foot warehouse. It's got 10 docks, 5 dock high, 5 street level docks. It's gated. It's in Opalaka. We're looking to lease it. We're asking $9 triple net. The owners would sell it. I don't have it on the market for sale, but the owners would sell it. If you have need for that, please call me. I'm going to put it on the chat. My name is Danny Zawonker, Z Miami Commercial Realty, 305-542-0189, and I'll put all that in the chat. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Peter. You're next.
Good morning. How's everybody doing? What a great commercial networking group. That was awesome. Thank you, Danielle. I have a client that is looking for a retail kind of restaurant space. It doesn't have to be a restaurant, but it needs to be converted to a restaurant space between 4,000 and 5,000 square feet. he is looking in the north part of our district, anywhere from Deerfield, Boca, Delray, up to Jupiter, and he would like it US 1 or east of US 1. So it's a very niche product he's looking for. So if anybody has that, please reach out to me. I'd be very happy to show it to him. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And now we're gonna have one person in-house. Hi, how are you this morning?
All right. Hey, everybody. Richard Candia with Avanti Way. I don't have anything in hand right now, but what I want to do is invite you folks to consider to talk to your clients that may want to do some investment in downtown Homestead. I'm here to tell you that the decision makers of the city of Homestead are eager to welcome anybody, restaurants. We've already had conversations with 2 breweries, and it would be really helpful to understand exactly what you guys see, what your clients see, and what we need to do. So my name is Richard Candia, Avanti Way, 305-984-1645. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard. Come on, Kevin. Next person we have in house, Kevin from Rise Realty.
Good morning, everybody.
Got to mute.
I did that on purpose. Good test. The reason why I did that, those in the room, if you're not in Zoom, I recommend jumping in Zoom on your chat so that Paul's email will include your haves and wants. So that's my little advice there. So Kevin Kruger, Rise Realty. I posted in the chat a want. Warehouses. I've got a great client celebrating their 50th anniversary of their bakery business, and they're growing through franchising, and they need to expand their commissary. So we've got a couple ways we could do it. We could buy something small between 3,000 to 8,000 square feet, preferably here in North Dade. And then also we need to buy a 20 to 30,000 square foot warehouse, preferably along 595 up in Broward, because they're expanding statewide. If anyone has retail listings, we can talk about the franchisees expansion as well. And then brand new to market are flex offices, which I love personally, and I guess professionally too. This one's a bit more of a business club. So flex offices like WeWork or Regis or Spaces are all quite competitive. This one sees itself more like a business club. I kind of see it almost like an upscale BNI, except you're there daily. You're eager to run to the office. It's called Home Office. Their first one, they started in my neighborhood in Miami Beach. It's very walkable. There's free parking. So if anyone has these small office clients that kind of prefer that atmosphere versus our typical 2 to 10,000, 20,000 square feet office headquarters, reach out to me and let's talk about their business model. Kevin at riserealty.com. Thank you all.
Thank you, Kevin. Remember, if you have needs and wants in Zoom on, we're going to ask you to turn on your camera so we can see your face. So the next person we're going to call on, let me see whose camera is on. Ron, can you unmute your mic for me, please? Ron, you're next. Ron.
A little slow on the draw there.
Good morning, Ron. You're up.
Hi, how are you? Thank you.
Go ahead.
I'm looking for 4 to 5 acre sites with good visibility and accessibility in the Miami-Dade, Broward, Palm Beach markets to build small surgical center hospitals. They're on an acquisition and development aggressive program right now. So let me know whatever you have, 4 or 5 acres, accessibility, visibility, and of course, proper zoning for a hospital.
Thank you, Ron, for sharing. And next we have
in the chat.
Jennifer Forbes. You're up next. Good morning, Jennifer.
Good morning, Denise. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much. A couple of things that I've got. Number one is a requirement for 10,000 square feet of office space in the Coral Springs market. It could be split between 8,000 and 2,000. It is for a full service office admin office for a national client that I represent. And then I'm also looking for multifamily sites in the Wynwood, Little River, Jackson Hospital area for up to 40 units, preferably something that's shovel ready, has already gone through planning and zoning and has been pre-approved. We can move very quickly on that. And then lastly, I'm not sure if we mentioned Rock the Market later this month on July 29th at the Hard Rock Hotel. Looking forward to seeing everyone there. And that's all I've got. Thank you so much, Denise.
Thank you, Jennifer. And we're going to take one in-house followed by, we want Brian, I see you have your video on, and Francisco, you'll be next after. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Sean Grover. I want to mention before I provide a need or a want is the fact that I'm coming off Bell's palsy. So if, as I'm talking, if my face is looking weird, like this side's blinking and this one's not, and there's a little, like, not much movement here, it's because for the past couple of months I've had Bell's palsy, but I'm getting over it. Well, thank you. Thank you. But my name is Sean McGrover with McGrover Funding Corporation. I provide residential, commercial, and hard money loans throughout the state of Florida. Right now, I had a deal that fell through, so I'm sitting on $20 million that I need to get out. It could be residential, commercial, it doesn't matter. If you have clients that have to close quickly, need access to capital fast, we can close within 7 days. So yeah, let me know if you have something. I'd love to talk to you about it and give you more information of what I do. Thank you.
Thank you. That sounds like music to most of our ears. Okay, so now we're going to have Brian. Are you ready?
Already.
Followed by Francisco.
All right, good morning. Brian Zoberg with Suncoast Business Consultants. I have in Brickell, I have a retail space. It's approximately 1,200 square feet. It's at the Sail Club at 170 Southeast 14th Street. It's ready to be built out. We're asking 1.495 for it. And if anybody's interested, please call me. It's perfect for a dental office or possibly a medical spa. They're open to anything except food. And I also have an Italian restaurant in North Broward, which has been in business for over 40 years, since it's been there since the 1970s with the same owner. They're asking, they just reduced the price to $595. The owner is making around $250,000 a year for himself. And the real estate is also available in addition to the business. Brian Zoberg, Suncoast Business Consultants, 305-301-2443. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that information. Now we have Francisco and Evelyn. You're going to be up next, followed by Kadir. Hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, but that's the order. Go ahead. Francisco, going once, going twice. He's trying to unmute.
Okay, good morning.
There you go.
Good morning. My name is Francisco Rivera. My phone number is 305-301-5720. I have 1,300 square foot warehouse, small warehouse in Hialeah with a 700 square foot mezzanine. So it's a total of 2,000 square feet. They're asking $375,000. It's very good for a small business. I also have a piece of property in Gould's, 23,000 square foot land with a structure is 2,100 square feet. That is ideal for a church, daycare center, or adult living facility. And I'm looking for anywhere from 15,000 to 20,000 square foot of retail for a merchandise retail store, a discount anywhere in Dade or Broward. And once again, my number is 305-301-5720. And everything is on the chat. Thank you. Bye.
Very much. Now we have Evelyn and Kader. Evelyn, you're up, and then Kader. Remember, if you want to present your needs, haves, and wants, we request that you turn on your camera. Still see a lot of people in-house on the Zoom, but their cameras are not on. Okay? So go ahead, Evelyn. Evelyn, going once, going twice. Oh, Elvin. Elvin, yeah, that's you. I'm sorry. I see you're ready. You need to unmute. There you go.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning. I don't have any needs, but this is for me an experience to meet people in this business. I wish them a lot of luck. All right. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much for coming. And
Thank you.
now we have Kader.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I need multifamilies, 20 plus units. I have a cash buyer ready to go. And also I need some land in the Redlands, 10 acres. It's for an equestrian company. I have a shopping center in Hallandale Beach, a 20 units in Little Havana, and two duplexes, one duplex in the zip code 331142, and three in a triplex in 33125. I'm gonna put everything on the chat. Thank you.
Thank you, Kader. So we're gonna have Robert, and then we're gonna take one in-house, which is Michael. You've seen his face before. So Robert, you're up next, and then Michael.
Good morning, everyone.
Good
Robert
morning.
Palacios, Regency Commercial Properties. We are looking for 30,000 square feet of heavy industrial manufacturing, Broward or Palm Beach counties, here in North Dade. 10,000 square feet of warehouse in Broward County, and about 20,000 square feet of warehouse in the East Airport up to 27th Avenue going east and west to the Palmetto. I'll put my information in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you. And now we have Michael.
So, thanks a lot. I do have a listing that I'm working on with my partner, Paola Chapman. It is about 21,000 square feet of land on Northwest 79th Street. It's 1113 Northwest 79th Street. It is a very small building. It's about 2,800, maybe 3,000 square foot building on a 21,000 square foot piece of dirt. We are marketing it at 1.5 million. It is in a special overlay, NUACD, North County. I don't even know exactly what NCUAD means, but there are some special incentives from the code for automotive and redevelopment. They're looking for mixed use development in this lot. So let me know if you've got any buyers for that. And then I'll take a presidential moment and wish Robert Palacios a lot of luck. Robert is on the ballot for the CCIM leadership for the Miami-Dade district. So we want to wish Robert a lot of luck in his new role that he volunteered for. And I look forward to working with you in the next couple of years in the leadership for Miami-Dade CCIM. So good luck, Robert, on that election. He's a
Thank you
shoo-in,
very
so
much.
it's going to be awesome.
Just when I thought I was getting out, they pulled me back in.
Yes. Listen, my friend, I have thoroughly enjoyed my involvement in CCIM, and you will as well, because you get to meet some amazing people and work with some great people. So I know you're going to be awesome at that. So we got some people in the chat. Is there anybody else in the room we missed? Oh.
So next we're gonna have Lourdes, and then Brian. Remember, if you want to have your needs and wants be recognized on Zoom, please turn on your camera. And after Lourdes and Brian, then I'm going to turn over to Josh, who's going to present his needs and wants. And if you have your camera on, he will continue taking those needs and wants on Zoom. So yes. Oh, you went already. Okay. All right. I think you're taking Kevin's cue. Brian, what about Brian? We went? Okay, great. So now it's your turn. We have Josh, the one and only Josh, and you can also make an announcement to see if anyone else wants to turn on their camera. I see Billy, I see David, I see Robert, I see Elvis, I see Ilda, Miriam, Eddie. If you want to showcase your needs and wants and have Just turn on your camera so we can get those done for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Denise. I just want to say that after doing this for many years, Denise really stepped up and has done a fantastic job. So all of you online, you can expect to see more of Denise, which is fantastic news. Guys, my name is Josh Cohn. I'm with Cohn Commercial Real Estate. I have 3 acres of land currently zoned agricultural down in Homestead. And I actually want to use my time to talk about volunteering and community service. If anybody is looking to spend this particular Sunday doing something fantastically fun, it's all hugs and high fives. We are looking for volunteers for our local Special Olympics stand-up paddleboard area games. Anybody from standing on a paddleboard on the water to actually being on land cheering on the athletes is something that's really important and means a lot to all of the athletes participating. It is at Tiger Tail Recreational Lake in Dania at Broward College. If anybody is interested in more information, please reach out to me on Facebook, Instant Messenger, email, phone number, a smoke signal. I will get you the information. Really, it's a fun thing to do. Yeah, thank you. I'm going to hand it back to Denise. Thanks, Denise.
Thank you for that.
Anything else? Anybody else? No?
I'm not seeing any. Let me see. I think we have covered all so far. Elvis doesn't want to be on camera today. Eddie, Robert, Billy, David, Garcia. So we're going to
Okay.
turn it over to you now.
All right, well, thank you very much. Great job, Denise. Thank you so much for coming up here. Before we wrap up today, one other thing that I want to mention is that this year at the Florida Realtors Convention, which will be in August in Orlando, one of my pet projects was, and it kind of resulted from networking with Christina Pappas and Margie Grant. We were in Washington, D.C., and I'm like, listen, we have this huge expo, but I never see any stuff for commercial there. So what can we do about getting a commercial corner? So this is what happens when you network with some great people like that. So for the first time at Miami or at Florida Realtors Expo, we will have a commercial corner. So Miami Realtors will be there talking to residential agents, resi-commercial agents, and the rest of the state about some of the great things we do as far as education and networking and advocacy and all of that. CCIM will be there, IROM will be there, RLI. So there will be some other commercial resources there. So if you're part of the leadership or you go to the Florida Realtors Convention, this is your opportunity to come by the Expo Center at the commercial corner. Look for us. I'll be at the table. Paul's going to be at the table, and we'll probably be looking for some other volunteers from the board that may want to take an hour or two at the commercial corner table. Again, we're going to be talking about education and things that we do here that the rest of the state doesn't, because we have a dynamic board. We have an amazing leader named Paul, who the more I do things with Florida Realtors, the more I realize how wonderful we have it here in Miami. And unless you go see some of the other groups around the state, you don't realize we do some really great things here. So I'm super happy to share that with the rest of the state. So that's going to be in August. Other than that, that is it. So thank you all for participating. Oh, Paul says, shut up, get off the stage. No, what else?
I was saying, I don't have anything to say.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So thank you, everybody. Go out there.
So thank you everyone for joining, and make it a great day in Zoomland. Bye.
All right. Have a great day.